His grace is abundant.
And we keep asking His grace to always be with you, because even yesterday I was watching the news, the Joy News last night, and you were reporting on, some concessions of, Atakwa, where, they have closed the shaft, and yet people are going in there to mine. And you spoke to some lecturers from UNAIR who are telling us about the challenges, the dangers, in terms of ventilation and what they're holding the shaft where that can cave in and all that, and yet people are risking their lives to enter into these places. Erastus, you have been on the beat for this thing for a very long time. What are we supposed to do that we're not doing, that is still making this Galamsey go on?
Well, thank you. I think it all boils down to one thing. The leader, the president, in whose trust minerals and natural resources have been vested by the Constitution, is refusing to act on something that is endangering the entire country. It's as simple as that. And then he has his assigned the over 240-something MPs who have refused to voice out. So far, I'm not hearing any strong voice from any member of parliament strongly enough to push the president to say, do something about this because it is killing your own citizens. That is why we are where we are. That is what we are not doing. Because I say this, you cannot say that all of us should bring our hands on deck when the person who is clothed with the powers to act, to send the military out, to push the police to enforce law, is not acting and is not interested. That is what we are experiencing now. You have a vice president who has the power to also join in what we, the citizens, are doing to save our country, but has decided that he will not do anything now. He is waiting for us to vote for him. When he comes to power, then he will do something about it. That is, to me, whack logic. And that is why we are where we are at the moment, because the people who hold the realms of power are not interested in solving this problem.
So, Erasmus, we had conversations with you, and I think one of the things that we concluded upon our conversations, Erasmus, was for you to take the documentaries that you've put together, cataloged, to the communities for them to see at first hand for themselves the dangers that they're creating for the whole nation and for themselves. In recent videos that we've seen, Erasmus, some residents in some of the communities, they themselves are now fighting the people who are engaged in the Galamsey. In one of the videos I saw, they were even struggling over a shotgun because they wanted to, disarm the Galamseyers and ask them to leave, the sites. Will you say that these community engagements, where you are showing the videos, in these communities, in these villages, is it really working?
It is working to some extent. I would say that it is enlightening people on the dangers of mining. Yesterday, a friend who is into illegal mining, and I have advised him so much, he's not listening to me. I tried to check on him yesterday, and he's seriously sick. And he's now realizing what I've been telling him all along, because he was using his hands to apply the mercury and other things. He's gotten very sick. You see, when we do the community engagement, yes, the people become aware. Some of them, they are learning for the first time that the illegal mining they are doing, the mining on the water bodies and other things, has an effect on their health. Because people have been assigning these things to superstition, to spiritualism. But then, when they saw the evidence and they saw the people who were speaking in the documentary, people who have really gotten sick from the effects of mining, then they are now expressing shock. But you see, there's one thing for people to now realize that this has an effect on my life. And another thing, they acting on that information. If we had duty bearers joining us, and whilst we are doing the education, they are also doing what they are supposed to do, enforcement of the laws, then we are getting somewhere. Mind you, the last community tour we did, that was at Denyasi Huntado. That was the only community that was left within that enclave, Manso enclave, that illegal mining had not really ravaged the town. And it was all because of the Denyasehema, Nana Addo. She is the only woman who was standing up to illegal miners in the Denyasi Huntado area. But recently, and I'm not saying this to blame Menchia or anything, they have their own royal problem. And when word got to the town that the committee that sat on her case has said that his lineage is not found, then look at the excavators that are now trooping to the town. Within the past 2 weeks, if I show you the level of degradation, because she is not in authority as she should be, people are now mining almost everywhere in the town. And this is why we did our last community outreach program. So, yes, in effect, the people got the message. Yes, they now know that the legal mining has a bearing on their lives. But these are people who do not have any power. They do not have any authority to fight the people who are now coming to town to destroy the town. And that is the problem, David. Because it is so baffling that, come to think of it, today I did a list for Joy News on all the river bodies that have been contaminated and polluted. Over 16 of them across the country, all major rivers. You have a country that all its freshwater sources used for agriculture and other things, highly polluted, poisoned. You can't use it for anything. And the president sits idle, aloof, and doesn't even comment. He's not even bothered. Can you imagine that? And then you have the MPs, the members of parliament who represent the people and who know the effects of what is going on public health, sitting aloof. Have you heard any member of parliament talking? Are they even joining the fight we are doing right now?
Nope.
No. And they are silent over this.
You know what surprises me is that we are about 34 million people. The people who are in Galamsey amount to what, 200,000? That's what I read yesterday, about 200,000. And we're saying that we're sitting down for about 200,000 people to kill us all. Now, if this Queen Mother, you mentioned her name as, is it the Queen Mother for Dynasty or something?
Yes.
If she's been able to prevent Galamsey in her community, what are the other traditional leaders doing? What are they saying is their challenge? Why can't they do what she's doing?
You see, one of the sub-chiefs in the Huntado area went on the community radio and asked everybody, when the Queen Mother said nobody should give his or her land out for illegal mining, the moment that word went round that her legitimacy has been challenged, quickly he went round announcing that whoever has land to give for illegal mining should come to him. I hope Menchia is listening to this. And now, almost over 15 excavators have proved to town, mining everywhere. You see, and this was a woman, she's just a woman who has stood up for years. She says, no way, nobody is mining in this town. And true to her word, she will wear Wellington boots and go to your site and ask you to vacate. But soon as word went round that her legitimacy has been challenged, now look at the town. So, seriously, if we wanted to fight this canker, if the president was interested, if this government was interested in fighting Galamsey, why not? It will take just a few weeks and it will be gone.
So this call by organized labor asking for
various party people are the ones who are mining in the forest reserves. And I keep saying that because we have evidence of who is mining where. They are the assigned and executives of the ruling party and government who are destroying the forest. And because of that, they don't want to touch illegal mining. It's a taboo subject for them. They don't want to touch it because there is no logical reasoning why you have such destruction and pollution, and nobody within the ruling government is standing up and saying, let's stop this nonsense.
Erastus, when I was speaking to Engineer Dr. Kenashigbe, and when organized labor